Hello and welcome to another edition of the First Pitch Podcast on Pitcher List. My name is Trevor Hooth. We got baseball to get into. Why don't we just do it? I mean, hey, that's what we're here for, right? Starting with the news, of course, the Royals made a flurry of moves. They've activated the trade acquisitions, Bailey Falter and Ryan Bergert, some pitching they got to bolster their rotation. To make room for them, they've optioned Jonathan Bolin and they DFA Thomas Hatch. Hatch was brought onto the roster, I believe, to replace Rich Hill very recently. Michael Massey has also been returned from rehab assignment and activated from the injured list. So he is back for the Royals, as well as creating room for a couple new pitchers. Tanner Houck for the Red Sox is going to undergo Tommy John surgery. He's been out since mid-May. He was on a rehab assignment, but he did get pulled off of it and was put on the 60-day IL. So now Tanner Houck might not be back in action until 2027 or at the earliest late next season after once again undergoing Tommy John surgery. Blake Snell was activated by the Dodgers. He'd been on the 60-day IL with left shoulder inflammation. To make room, they had to make room on both the active and 40-man rosters for him coming off of the 60-day. New trade acquisition, Paul Gervasi has been optioned to AAA, and Zach Penrod, a lefty, was DFA'd in order for Snell to return to the roster. Now, this does bring implications for their starting rotation. It appears that they are planning to go with a 6-man rotation with the addition of Blake Snell. The odd man out probably was going to be Emmett Sheehan, but Emmett Sheehan will still be in the rotation. Once again, Dodgers going 6-man rotation with all of their pitchers that they have. They have a lot of depth, even though they get hurt a lot. Aaron Nola is making rehab starts. He made his first one on Friday. The next one is scheduled to happen Wednesday. So that's going to be coming up this week as Aaron Nola is working his way back for the Phillies. No word on how many he's going to have to go through, but he has another one coming up soon. And finally, in news going to Texas, Evan Carter is not on the IL yet. He might wind up there. He's day-to-day at this point with back spasms. The news story I saw said that the IL is not out of the question for him, but he is going to be out for at least a little bit. Moving on to some of the highlights from yesterday's games, Corbin Carroll, showing off the Corbin Carroll skill set, hit his 22nd home run of the year in that game. He also stole his 14th base. Ketel Marte hit his 21st home run. Alek Thomas hit his 7th, as a trio of home runs were hit by the Diamondbacks. Speaking of home runs and hitters with power, for the Marlins, Agustin Ramirez hit 2 bombs. That brings him to 17 on the season, and he has been very, very good in his rookie year. He was acquired by the Marlins, not at the most previous trade deadline, but last season at the trade deadline in a trade with the Yankees. Jacob Marcy hit a double. He's hitting 500 through his first couple of games. I'll tell you what, I guess whatever he can do when he is at his best, that's what's translating to the big leagues right now. I cannot emphasize the sides of the spectrum that he has been on, even this season, where it's been real bad and then real good. Well, he's doing real good right now, and that's what you want to see from him. So Jacob Marcy off to a hot start, a couple games obviously, but still off to a good start for his MLB career. You know, I'm going to mention him. Royce Lewis had 2 hits, including a double. And after a rough start, I mean, it looked like he was lost and gone coming back from his first injury of the year. He's hitting .293 over his last 15 games. He had 2 hits, including a double in the game yesterday. And he's starting to show a little bit more power. And it's hard to be hopeful about Royce Lewis because it seems like it's the best few weeks of baseball that people can play for a while from him. But it's just that health. And if he can remain healthy, which he's not been able to do, he has so many good skills on a baseball field and can be so good. And I think we're starting to see maybe he's getting more comfortable coming off of that initial injury. And that's why we're starting to see a little bit more hitting over the last couple of weeks, over the last couple of weeks of games, I should say. Jose Ramirez, he's just good. I venture to say he's the most underrated player. I know people know he's a superstar, but I feel like he just doesn't get the headlines he deserves. He hit his 22nd home run of the year. He also has 32 steals. I mean, he just gets stuff done, and I feel like he just doesn't get the shine of those other superstars, even though he absolutely is one. And we all think of him. It's weird to say, I know. For the Guardians, Daniel Schneemann also had 3 hits, including his 10th homer and 13th double. So he had a couple of extra base hits. Randy Arozarena collected a couple hits for the Mariners, including his 22nd home run of the season. He's coming off of a really hot July where he hit exactly half of his season home run total. 11 of them happened over the last month as we are just getting started in August. And Arozarena has been good for the last couple months. I mean, he can be streaky, but he's absolutely been good lately. It was a rough start to the year for Willy Adames after signing that contract with the Giants, but he started to pick things up lately. Over his last 30 games, he's hitting .288 with 8 home runs. And just to illustrate how bad that start was, I mean, he's still on the season hitting .235. So he's still trying to collect himself back from that. He's got 17 total home runs on the year, but he started to hit the ball better and better in a Giants uniform. Pete Alonso had another home run. That's back-to-back games now with a bomb for the polar bear, and he added a double as well. Once again, his average is around 260 now. He'd been sitting around 290. I wonder if that's going to start coming back to earth. It already has a little bit. He's never been an average guy, but this power always there and certainly showing through now. This was talked about yesterday on the podcast as well, but it's good to see the power still there. Was interested to see how long that average would keep up, but still 260s. He's doing really well, having a fantastic year, not trying to take anything away from him. One of the better fantasy players that you can have because of that elite fantasy power. The Red Sox lineup had 10 hits, 8 of which went for extra bases, and Romy Gonzalez had 2 of those, a home run and a double. Trevor Story hit a home run, his 18th. He added a double as well. 18 home runs is his highest total as a member of the Boston Red Sox. Has not hit that many since he was a member of the Rockies. Abraham Toro hit his 6th home run. Rob Refsnyder added a double, and Ceddanne Rafaela hit a pair of doubles. Rafaela, not supposed to be able to hitting really well this year. Robert Hassel III, one of the prospects that came over to Washington in the Juan Soto trade all those years ago, probably the one that hasn't gotten that much talk in terms of what he, I don't know, compared to the other prospects, he just hasn't gotten that much talk. Well, he hit a 2nd career home run. He got called up for the first time this year. He has 83 at-bats under his belt. He is hitting .241 in that time. I'm wondering how long his tenure is going to last. Dylan Cruz has started his rehab assignment. He's rehabbing in AAA. And so we'll see. I don't know. I just don't know how long it's going to last for him. I wonder if he goes down when Cruz is healthy once again. The Tigers offense exploded against Zach Wheeler. I mean, they were just doing great. Colt Keith hit his 9th home run. Kerry Carpenter hit his 18th. Javier Baez added a triple and hit his 11th home run. And Gleyber Torres hit his 13th. All but the last one there by Gleyber Torres were off of Zach Wheeler, which is not something Zach Wheeler does very often. He gave up 3 home runs, which is a lot of home runs if you're Zach Wheeler. Nick Castellanos hit his 15th home run off Tarek Skubal and against his old team, the Detroit Tigers. Liover Peguero, he has played very minimally at the big league level, but he had a big day hitting 3 home runs, enjoying Coors Field, I see, but hitting 3 home runs against the Rockies. He's got 4 in 29 at-bats. He's hitting .310 in those 29 at-bats as well. And if he keeps hitting and keeps having a role, that's going to make him that much more interesting for fantasy, especially because he was playing first base in the game. This was his 2nd game there. He's also played second and shortstop, so he's going to have several different positions eligible if he continues on the path of, well, playing several different positions. That's how you get the eligibility. Warming Bernabel continues to mash. collecting three more hits, including two doubles. And I don't know how long this is going to last, but ride the wave. I mean, he's hitting very well right now. Obviously, Coors is going to be helping him out, but he's just doing great in early on in his MLB career. Kyle Isbell went 2 for 2 with an RBI. Both hits were doubles. He stole his fourth base as well. He's known mostly for his defense, but Isbell is hitting for the highest average he's had with regular playing time, 251. Of course, not that much helpful in fantasy. 3 home runs, 4 steals. So the counting stats not quite there. Adley Rutschman's been back for 5 games from his injury. He's gone 6 for 20 with 5 doubles. He has had doubles in back-to-back games, and he was hitting pretty well heading into the injury. So hopefully this is the turnaround from the rough start that Adley Rutschman had to the year. Aaron Savali went 6 1/3 innings, allowing only a hit and 2 walks while striking out 8. Savali has not allowed an earned run in his last 3 starts, where he's thrown 17 1/3 innings with 20 strikeouts and 3 walks. So Savali's been on a good stretch lately. Zach Gallen, who's had a rough year, allowed a pair of runs over 6 innings, striking out 3. Yankees youngster Cam Schlitter struck out 6 over 5 innings and gave up a pair of earned runs. He struck out 21 batters over his last 19 2/3 innings over 4 starts in the big leagues. Yuri Perez, really good. 6 shutout innings, struck out 5, and over his last 7 starts, Perez has thrown for a 1.64 ERA in 38 1/3 innings with 40 strikeouts in that time. In his Rangers debut, Merrill Kelly struck out 6 over 5 2/3 innings and allowed 2 earned runs. He's coming off a month where he had a 2.35 ERA with 21 strikeouts in 30 2/3 innings. Kaiwei Tang made his start for the Giants through 3 1/3 innings, struck out 4, allowed 5 earned runs, and we'll see what happens with him going forward. I imagine that they'll either give a spot to Hayden Birdsong if they believe that his command is going to be helpful, or maybe they try out Blade Tidwell, who they just received at the trade deadline. But Tang, I guess, did okay. Didn't have the strikeouts that he was showing in AAA. Also had a few walks under his belt there, and the walks were a big thing for him before. So we'll see how much more run he gets. Maybe they'll give him another start, or they may turn to one of their options in the minors. Brandon Woodruff struck out 8 over 6 innings, allowing 2 earned runs. He's got 5 games under his belt since missing almost 2 seasons. He has a 2.22 ERA with 37 strikeouts in 28 1/3 innings. Tarek Skubal versus Zach Wheeler. That was just a fun matchup, or at least you thought it might be. Skubal gave up 3 runs to the Phillies over 7 innings and struck out 10 without allowing a walk. And very similarly, Zach Wheeler through 6 innings with 10 strikeouts and no walks. He also gave up 3 earned on, of course, those 3 home runs that he allowed. Another big-name pitcher throwing, Paul Skeens, went into Coors, struck out 8 over 5 innings, did give up 4 earned runs, bringing his season ERA all the way up to 2.02. What I'm saying is Paul Skeens is very good. Max Scherzer allowed just 1 earned run, struck out 5 across 6 innings. He's thrown 8 games this season with a 4.39 ERA with 44 strikeouts and 41 innings. He's battled some injury this year, but has looked okay, at least striking guys out when he's healthy. Where are the Boyd boys at? Matthew Boyd scattered 4 hits to throw 7 shutout innings with 8 strikeouts, and his great season continues. Returning from the injured list, Blake Snell went 5 innings, struck out 8, allowing 3 earned runs on 2 home runs. And finally, Drew Rasmussen struck out 6 over 5 1/3 scoreless innings against the Dodgers. Over his last 15 games, he has a 2.67 ERA with 61 strikeouts in 70 2/3 innings. So Drew Rasmussen, again, just that 5 and dive, but he's been pretty reliable at it. With that, we're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we're going to look at some of the pitching coming up later today. Appreciate you joining me. This is the First Pitch Podcast on Pitcher List. And welcome back to the First Pitch Podcast on Pitcher List. My name is Trevor Hooth. Glad you can be here. We've talked news, we've talked hitting, we've talked pitching. Now, let's take a look at what's coming up today. Maybe some matchups you could take advantage of. Jacob Misiorowski is taking on the Nationals. I mentioned this because I feel like he just doesn't line up on weekends. I don't get to talk about Misiorowski that much. Either way, it's exciting because he's really good. In 7 games, he struck out 47 batters in 33 and a third innings with a 2.70 ERA. So obviously interested in that. If you can get him, he's going to be on a team, but whatever. He's got the Nationals coming up. And with Misiorowski, I'm loving it because when he's on, he's so good. And we've seen that. The other shoe could drop. The walks could come back to bite him. It has not happened yet. Hopefully it does not, because when he's on, he is one of the more talented pitchers we have and a lot of fun. For the Giants, Carson Whisenhunt is going to be taking on the Mets. That's a tough draw, tough matchup. In his debut against Pittsburgh last time out, he gave up 4 earned runs across 5 innings. As mentioned, the Mets are a tough draw, but his changeup can play. It is an elite, really good changeup. Really good. So anything can happen. Not going to trust it against the Mets, but I am interested to see how that changeup plays against a good lineup. Joey Cantillo for the Guardians is going to be up against who knows who's going to be in that lineup? Twins. That's right. Cantillo versus the Twins. Love that matchup. Cantillo has 27 strikeouts and 21 and 2/3 innings as a starter. He started in the bullpen for the Guardians, so on the year in total, he has 63 strikeouts and 50 innings. The walks can be a problem, but if he's going to be able to get these strikeouts against the Twins, whose lineup was just, essentially decimated at the trade deadline, they've had to make so many moves, call guys up. I like Cantillo versus the Twins, and I think he could take advantage of that and could be a high-volume strikeout outing for him. The return of the reigning Rookie of the Year, Luis Gil, will be making his debut against Edward Cabrera and the Marlins. So Gil is returning for the Yankees. Athletics pitching prospect Jack Perkins has a 2.75 ERA with 19 strikeouts and 19 and 2/3 innings, all of those in relief. However, Perkins is slated to start against the Diamondbacks. Solid matchup for him. He is one of the better pitching prospects that the Athletics have, and he's been a definite helium guy this season. Charlie Morton's going to be making his Tigers debut against the Phillies. Not a great matchup, but very interested to see what the Tigers have done with him, with all the guys that they've gotten recently. They've tweaked usage almost immediately. They did it with Paddock. We saw it happen with Finnegan too in his small sample that he pitched. So we'll see what happens. I'm interested to see the pitch usage for Charlie Morton and how that works out. Once again, he'll be taking on the Phillies in his Tigers debut. And finally, matchup of the day, veteran versus youth, Jacob deGrom versus Logan Evans. deGrom has been very good this year. We're seeing a really good version of Jacob deGrom. And Logan Evans has shown definite flashes and has really good stuff. Interested to see how that goes against the Rangers lineup. I don't know. Think it could be a fun game, fun pitching matchup. With that, I will see you guys next weekend. Appreciate you joining me. This has been another edition of the First Pitch Podcast on Pitcher List.